Ladies and gentlemen, friends of music, followers of Coldplay, and lovers of those unforgettable concert moments that linger long after the final chord, let us take a journey into one night, one city, and one unexpected moment that became the talk of the internet. It was a warm summer night in Boston. The stars above seemed to shimmer in sync with the stage lights below. The crowd, thousands strong, pulsed with energy, love, and the kind of unifying spirit that only Coldplay concerts can summon. And at the center of it all stood Chris Martin, barefoot, beaming, and as charismatic as ever. This was no ordinary stop on the music of the Sphere's world tour. It was night transformed into poetry. Music transformed into emotion. And yet, as fate would have it, one fleeting moment would steal the spotlight, not because of a song, not because of a technical mishap, but because of the unpredictability of real, raw human reaction. The cameras, always scanning the crowd for fans lost in the magic of the music, landed on a couple. Seated close, wrapped in each other's presence, they looked every bit the part of two souls caught in a love story. A typical concert cutaway shot, sweet, romantic, uncontroversial. But then, something shifted. The woman's smile dissolved into panic. She turned her head away from the lens, shielding her face like a celebrity avoiding the paparazzi. The man with her, equally unsettled, ducked down, eyes wide, hands waving frantically as if to say, "Please, not us. Not now." And then there was the other woman, just beside them, watching, smiling, but not with ease. Her expression told 1,000 stories. Maybe confusion, maybe disbelief, maybe recognition of a secret unraveling in front of thousands. Chris Martin, ever the commentator and ever the comedian, tried to soothe the crowd, and perhaps the couple themselves. "Come on, you're okay," he said, his voice laced with warmth. But then came the moment that would echo across social media, TikTok, Instagram Reels, and Reddit threads. "Uh-oh," Chris added, with a grin. "Either they're having an affair, or they're just very shy." The crowd erupted. Gasps, laughter, whispers, and online, chaos. That single offhanded comment, meant to lighten the mood, launched a tidal wave of speculation. Who were they? Why the dramatic reaction? Were they cheating? Were they hiding? Or was it all just a moment of pure, overwhelming shyness under the weight of a million eyes? Theories bloomed like wildfire. Some claimed they recognized the man. He was married, they said, but not to the woman next to him. Others insisted it was just a couple caught off guard. Some defended their privacy. Others leaned into the drama, dissecting every angle, every expression, every frame like digital detectives on a mission. But in that swirl of digital speculation, one thing was clear: this wasn't just about an awkward camera moment. It became something bigger. It became a reflection of how a single second of human vulnerability can unravel into a global talking point in the age of the internet. Chris Martin, ever the gentleman, likely didn't intend to spark a viral saga. Yet, this wasn't the first time Coldplay's world tour had made headlines beyond the music. From thanking Mumbai fans for forgiving British colonialism in a moment of political and emotional candor, to tumbling through a trap door in Australia in a mishap that, thankfully, left him unhurt, Martin has never been a stranger to unscripted moments. That's what makes Coldplay's concerts special. They're not sterile performances. They're living, breathing, imperfect wonders. And in that imperfection, we see the beauty of being human. But let us return to Boston, to that moment under the spotlight. What began as a standard shot turned into a digital storm. The reactions were instantaneous, and varied. Some laughed, some cringed, some empathized, and some judged. What we saw was the collision of private emotion and public gaze. Two people, maybe in love, maybe not, suddenly cast into a narrative they never wrote, never approved, and certainly never expected. And Chris, caught between humor and humanity, chose to fill the silence with levity. Because that's what performers do. They read the room. They react. They keep the show going. And maybe that's the real takeaway here. In an age where every movement can be screenshotted, clipped, uploaded, and debated within minutes, nothing is truly private anymore. Not even a concert embrace. Not even a flash of awkwardness. Not even the milliseconds of instinct that tell someone to duck and cover. But in all of this, let us not forget the music. The reason everyone gathered. The reason the lights shone and the hearts swayed. Coldplay didn't lose the plot that night. If anything, they reminded us of what live music really is: unfiltered, unpredictable, unforgettable. The band continued. The songs soared. The night rolled on with Yellow, Fix You, and Viva la Vida, lifting spirits sky high. But somewhere in between, the audience knew they had witnessed something unscripted, something real. Chris Martin has always carried a touch of mischief in his stage presence. But behind the jokes and jabs lies a frontman who feels deeply, cares deeply, and gives everything he has to every soul in every seat. So to that couple, whoever you are, wherever you are, we hope you're okay. We hope the moment passed. We hope the music eventually found you again. And to the fans, those who filmed, who posted, who speculated, may we all remember the thin line between curiosity and compassion. Between sharing a laugh and sharing a life that isn't ours to dissect. This story will live on in internet infamy, no doubt. But it will also live on as a symbol of what makes live concerts so magical: anything can happen. And often, it does. Chris Martin didn't plan to go viral.